It's possible. But yeah, it's great. Congratulations, Ranger Yenji. He's a solid Brazilian player. Ranger, I know he's really like having a rough time, especially after the loss. Like he's taking the loss really hard in the
He
qualifiers.
is.
Yeah, like he was so close this weekend. For some context, Ranger played in the DreamHack qualifiers this weekend, and he got so close in a PvP against Quantel. It went all the way to the ace match in the qualifying match, and he just didn't make the cut. And in the end, he didn't qualify for ANZ champs.
Absolutely. I'm still personally convinced that if he faced any other opponent that was still on the bracket at that time in that qualifying round, I was convinced Ranger was going to take it. But Quantel went in, showed his mastery of PvP, and speaking of mastery of PvP, we are now in a PvP on Everdream, Ideally Edle. We're in the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner map. We have the red Protoss player coming down all the way from the land of Malaysia. He is going to be representing the team Mate Hexa. Can everybody say, go, go, Hexa Ranger? You always have to air guitar afterwards.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the blue Protoss player, the Korean Protoss, representing himself as he is currently teamless. It is Hurricane.
And I think I say this just about every week, Light, but honestly, I'm a little surprised that Hurricane is still kind of teamless. I guess it shouldn't be too big of a shock, a lot of teams did sort of close down, and, it's harder. It's hard to get a team right now. I know Solar was kind of in between them for a while before settling on... What did he settle on?
He settled on, I want to say KaiZ picked him up.
It was
like
KaiZ,
recently?
yeah, it was KaiZ.
Yeah.
I knew it was a Chinese team, I just didn't remember which one.
Yeah, KaiZ was the one with a couple of recent shifts. Same with Team LP as well. Like they kind of shifted players around. Bunny left KaiZ, joined LP. Or was it LP or
I think
Envy?
It was Envy.
It's Envy.
I think it was Envy.
Yeah. It was some two-letter combination. It was Envy.
It was some two-letter combination that had a team in front of it.
Exactly. But yeah, it is a shame, honestly. It's a shame that there are players as good as Hurricane, as good as, bringing it back to our scene a little bit, as good as Miyomaika, who are currently teamless, right? Like, that just doesn't seem... It's a little bit unfair, but it is the reality that we live in. And hopefully, eventually, once things start opening up once teams start getting, a better situation,
Sponsors,
financially, sponsors, then hopefully some of these players can get picked up.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to be waiting until then. Hurricane, I should say, not trusting Ranger an inch, scouting around the proximity of that base. He knows that there's a pylon out there, and he's right, there is a pylon out there. But what is it gonna be used for?
Exactly. Again, so far it looks like it's just a pylon to make it look as if there's a proxy. There's only 2 pylons in the main base, so it's one of these things that some Protoss players do. And yeah, we do see Ranger being a little bit aggressive. Oh, he actually commits to the shade, so he's forced to recall.
Will this adept go down? Only one adept survives there. It seems like another probe. That was Hurricane's probe.
Yeah, that was Hurricane's probe going down, and yeah, a bit unfortunate. Ranger, he went across the map, he lost an adept, forced to use that recall, and yeah, didn't able to sneak into the main base. Not too big of a loss though. And again, Hurricane, he still doesn't know where that pylon is.
Yeah, but I think he has just about given up searching for it. He is going into the Phoenix, so he does, or the Hallucinate Phoenix, I should say, so does scout the Twilight Council, does scout the Double Gate, and he's really just not concerned with whatever Ranger's going to do with that pylon out in the map.
Yeah. I mean, we've reached a stage of the game where the tech got thrown down in the main base, so you know that the pylon is just a pylon to be out there. There's no tech or building with it. So Hurricane, he can rest easy for now. And yeah, the game is continuing on, and we do see that Ranger, he's opting to go for that Blink.
Ah, interesting. A Blink as well as a Forge, so I'm guessing Ranger's just going to go for a straight Blink Stalker kind of pressure.
Yep. Yeah, that Forge being for +1, so we're going to see +1 Blink Stalkers coming out for Ranger. They're going to hit pretty hard, but it does mean that he'll be lacking Immortals. That's something that Hurricane will probably start soon since he does have the Robo. So yeah, we'll have this weird situation where we're going to have like Stalker Immortal versus pure Stalker, but the Stalkers of Ranger will be better. So it'll kind of come down to his micro at the end of the day.
Yeah, it really will. If you have enough Stalkers, you can try to one-shot Immortals and take him out of the fight But Ranger actually committing to a decent number of sentries to get along with this.
Yeah, they have a lot of, I mean, he needs them, especially for scouting purposes, right? Like, there's no Oracle or anything like that. He needs hallucinations out there on the map. And Force Field's gonna help as well. And oh, it looks like Hurricane finally found it.
Just leave it alone. He just does not care. And one Stalker's gonna chip away at it. He's gonna say, "Hey, leave it alone." That's public property.
Oh my god. Yeah, at the same time, the War Prism actually did sneak into the main base of Ranger. Got a decent amount of probe kills. Really nicely done.
Meanwhile, the Adepts, they're shading back down into Natural. Does get a couple more probes as well. 8, 9 probes have already gone down. If we look at the income difference, that is pretty huge. If you look at a worker disparity, it is 31 versus 46. Literally 15 probes down for Ranger.
Yeah. Exactly, and we've said it before, we'll say it again, 2 Adepts can deal so much damage. In the end, 12 probes have gone down. To be fair, Ranger, he does have a 3rd Nexus, so he can, regain his worker count quite quickly, but he has to make sure he saves it.
Absolutely, he has to make sure he saves it and is going to utilize it as best he can. Blink did finish up for Ranger, but finished up for Hurricane as well, and +1 is only halfway done for Ranger right now. So this is still a very tricky defense for Ranger. He will have the defense advantage. He will have the quicker reinforcements. Blink's right on top of this Haluk. Once he realized that an Immortal took a lot of damage, not even going to bother with it. But here comes the real Immortal light.
Exactly,
and Ranger's
the real
army is
Immortal.
getting really thinned out. The micro from Hurricane has just been impeccable.
The real Immortal is here, and Ranger's going to be kicking himself. A lot of DPS was wasted on that hallucination, and it doesn't seem like he even has enough Stalkers here in comparison to Hurricane. Like, the Warp Prism macro is insane as well.
It really is. Why blink your Stalkers when you can hot pick them up?
Yeah, from range as well, but we do see the Immortal of Ranger is here as well, so he will be able to push this back a little bit, but again, the Warp Prism macro. The Warp Prism is getting focused, though.
Warp Prism did start to get focused, but there were just too many Immortals for Ranger to deal with there. Nexus goes down, and GG is called. Ranger is going to be down 0-1 to Hurricane in this best-of-3 series.
Yeah, and again, a part of me, it feels a little bit like, again, those Adepts, they did get a lot of damage done. They killed a lot of workers, hurting the economy of Ranger, hurting the amount of units that he could produce in the end. And yeah, honestly, that was a really nice, slick play from Hurricane, getting that hallucinated Immortal out there in the front. It was really cool.
It really was. And when I saw that, I was thinking, I believe that's within Ranger's vision. I don't think he'll jump on it. I don't think he'll take that bait, but every now and then your instinct just kind of takes over like that.
Yeah. And I don't blame him, right? Like, he was doing what he needed to do. You see an Immortal, you focus it down, but it just wasn't real.
You have to let it go, Ranger. The Immortal ain't real. I have to make sure that it's gone. It's no threat to you.
Some PTSD. Yeah. Some Quanto PvP PTSD. I don't blame him.
Oh, ouch.
Too soon.
Hashtag too soon. And speaking of too soon, we're now on Death Aura LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner map. Now down 0-1 in this best-of-3. This is his potentially final shot of keeping his tournament lights online. The Red Protoss coming down all the way from the land of Malaysia. He is going to be representing Mate Hexa. Everybody say it with me now. Go Hexa Ranger.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss player, representing himself as his team is currently getting cannon rushed. We have Hurricane.
Oh boy, Ranger, is that enough?
So, you know what? I feel like, he's a fan of Probe in his streams, and he feels like, you know what?
He is. If Probe can do that, so can I. In fact, even walling himself off. Not too well enough, though. He's not fully walled off, and actually, really nice mineral walking coming in from Hurricane. This Probe is in a lot of danger. Could not even get the cannon out.
Wow. And just like that.
Wow. Really living up to his name there, Hurricane is. Just tearing down buildings.
Yeah, oh my god, the wall was not a wall. As you were saying, he was throwing down the pylons so he could wall himself in so he can start making cannons behind the wall, but just a little bit misplaced. One hex off, if you will. Not 8, but 1.
A mate hex 8?
And because of that, that one probe of Hurricane was attacking. He mineral walked through as well, and then was able to just shut down that probe of Ranger, completely just ending that cannon rush. My god.
That was masterful, is what that was from Hurricane. Yeah. He's been, you can tell, he's been in this situation before. He knew what to look out for. What is the one vulnerability that my opponent has there that I could use to make them just completely prevent this cannon rush from being thrown down.
Yeah, he saw that opportunity, he executed, and GG, well done, Hurricane. He moves on to the next round.
That he will. Gonna be facing the winner of Rex versus Bunny.
Ooh.